Good morning and welcome everyone to Live Without Limits. Reach personal success on a daily basis. I'm Davida Shinsky and I'm thrilled to kick off our journey together on this podcast where we delve into the art of personal optimization and unlocking our fullest potential. We're diving into the essence of what it means to become the best version of ourselves with our debut episode titled Optimizing Your and Unleashing Your Best Self. So, in this series, we'll explore actionable insights, strategies, and stories that can empower you to live a life without boundaries where you and your personal success isn't just a distant dream, but a daily reality. So, where and whether you're turning in this morning on your commute, your afternoon jog, or as a part of your daily ritual, let's get ready to embark on a transformative journey towards self discovery and growth. Now, let's dive in and begin to explore what is truly meaning to optimize you and unleash your best self. Before we delve into the nuts and bolts of optimizing ourselves, let's take a moment to understand why this journey is so crucial. At its core, striving for personal growth and becoming the best version of ourselves isn't just about achieving external success or meeting societal standards. It's about embracing a mindset of continuous improvement and self discovery that enriches every aspect of our lives. Personal growth isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey. A journey that empowers us to unlock our true potential, pursue our passions, and live authentically. When we commit to this journey, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities where challenges become opportunities for growth, setbacks become lessons, and each day offers a chance to become a better version of ourselves that we were yesterday. Now, who you were today is not who you are yesterday because each day's experiences change us minute by minute, day by day, month by month, year by year. Who actually the knowledge that you have, this is why we say that everything we do, we are learning. And as we learn, and technology has influenced every part of our lives today, prioritizing personal growth isn't just beneficial for ourselves, it is also a ripple effect that extends to those around us. By investing in our own development, we become better equipped to contribute positively to our communities, support others on their journeys, and create meaningful connections built on empathy, understanding, and mutual growth. So, whether you're embarking on this journey for the first time or you're a seasoned traveler on the path of personal growth, remember that the pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself isn't a selfish endeavor, it's a gift that you give yourself, not only to yourself, but to the world around you. So let's now look at personal growth, and understanding, because who you are. Whereas, and I'm going to back up here a little bit because it's important for you to understand this, that back in the 20th century, in the 70s and 80s, and maybe I need to back up a little bit better than that because it'll help you understand that where we are today is and where we were in the past, how it influences who we are today. And what this has to do is corporate training. And back in the 80s, as I started my business, I became a distributor with a company that was known as Performax, which was assessment profiles. And then I also became a distributor with a company called Personal Dynamics Institute, which were the actual packaged training programs. And I've told the story before, and it talks about how the job market has changed. Because if you look at the very early part of the 20th century, when there was a big influx of Europeans into this country, that many of them brought with them the skills they had. And if you remember, even looking at Fiddler on the Roof, when they talk about how they would go home to home selling their wares because they lived in the little small towns. Well, when they came to America, what they did was they put their wares on push carts and they sold them on street corners. And then as their business grew, they started going into the storefronts. And some of those storefronts became bigger corporations. And back then, and then their children, which was the first generation, went to work for the corporation. And many of them worked there till they retired 25 years later. And they had their big retirement party and got their gold watch. And actually, when World War II came about, many men and women went to and were willing to fight for their country because their country had given them so much. And their children were known as the baby boomer generation. Many of them followed their parents into the corporate world and expected to retire from the corporate world. Back then, corporations would offer management training and assessment profiles to help individuals understand their personality better, how to communicate better. And then what happened was that was the era when corporations started merging and they had 2 to 3 people doing the same job, and they actually offered buyout packages. And I've known many of people who have took buyout packages from companies like IBM, AT&T, and they all had a 6-month period where they were still getting their pay and they could get their feet wet and decide whether or not going into business for themselves was the way to go. And that was also around the time of the Y2K period, where you saw a lot of consultants going in, and because they believed computers would crash as it changed the century. And none of that really happened. But at the same time, it was the beginning of a lot of the entrepreneurship. The thing is that it was also a time when corporations started cutting back on training their employees, so that today, as a solopreneur, you have to get that training on your own. And I used to go in and do train the trainer sessions. Now I create my own training programs on entrepreneurship and personal development. The thing is that This all plays into personal growth, understanding. And remember this today, if you go to work for corporations, it's a good training period, but there's no guarantee for any long term employment with a corporation today. Therefore, you have to be prepared for anything. When we talk about being the best version of ourselves, we're essentially referring to a state of being where we are aligned with our values, goals, and aspirations, and where we are continuously striving to grow and improve in all areas of our lives. This doesn't mean striving for perfection or comparing ourselves to other standards. Instead, it's about tapping into our unique strengths, talents, and passions and leveraging them to create a life that feels fulfilling and authentic to us. This is why it's so important to understand where your strengths are, and if you really don't know, it's best to visit a career counselor where they can give you assessment profiles. Because, and I'm going to discuss this because this is important to understand, that whether you're using the Myers-Briggs, the DISC, or the colors, or any assessment profile, it gives you an idea of where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are, because based on your strengths, that's where your talent is. And understanding what you have a passion for that you can make an income in. Now, using the disc, you've got the D, which is the dominant personality, and they believe they can control everything, and they're very domineering and controlling of everyone around them. Now, you've got the I personality, which is your interpersonal skills, which makes it easy for you to talk to people, whether you're in a among strangers, whether you're among friends. It's just easy for you to do. Then you've got the steadiness personality. They're a lot more reserved and introverted, but for someone who's very outgoing, they're a compliment to them because they're the sounding board that that person can talk to, and they provide the support that you needed. And then you've got the conscientiousness personality, and that's the person that does everything they question everything. They have to know all the details before they make a final decision. And we have all of these behavior patterns within us. Some of them are our strengths, some of them are our weaknesses. The thing is to learn to move in different situations out of your comfort zone into doing something that doesn't feel comfortable for you, especially if you're someone who's reserved but has to learn how to interact with people more, especially if you're going to be interviewed. Then it's important to get used to feeling and get used to learning how to move among those behavior patterns. Also, in a business environment, when you're talking to someone, being able to adapt to their personality in communication helps to be more distinct, and working with someone so that they don't feel as though you're being condescending to them when you're talking to them. That's another reason why it's so important to be able to interact with people and different personalities. Being the best version of yourself means living in alignment with your values and beliefs, making choices that reflect who you truly are, and being honest with yourself about your strengths, weaknesses, and areas for growth. And part of this is that, remember this, who we are today is not who we're going to be tomorrow and not who we're going to be in a year from now or 6 months from now. So always remember, every day you have to look at it as, what am I going to learn today? It also involves cultivating qualities such as resilience, empathy, and self awareness, as well as nurturing meaningful relationships and contributing positively to the world around us. The type, you know, we look at celebrities, at people in certain fields, whether it's in the entertainment business, as being celebrities, mainly because the work they do, whether they're on television, whether it's they're musicians, and the music they put out, what you like, what you don't like, you tend to look at those people as being up there, being, but who, and their personalities and depend on how well they relate to their audience, also affects the kind of relationship that uh, that how you're going to remember them long after they're gone. Because how many entertainers that were big in the 50s are no longer, 1950s, are no longer here today, but you still hear their music. You still hear the stories about their lives and what they went through. So remember this, that who you are today influences other people, but how you change, how you interact with the people around you, de- defines the legacy that you're going to be leaving for future generations. And understanding that, understand, and how you see yourself. In fact, I come from a home that was very negative, and because of that, because my mother created jealousy among her children, that there is no relationship between us. And it's just sad because none of us married, none of us have families of our own. And yet we can't even have a relationship with each other. And it's not as much that when I look at it, I grew up with a disability. My older sister's deaf. Her personality is to be very reserved, to be the peacemaker. And she thinks that by allowing them to abuse her, it's going to get her what she wants. And she doesn't realize that this is who they are. They're never going to change. They will continue to abuse you simply because they're jealous of you. What they're jealous of, they don't really know. They just know they're jealous. So realizing that, and and that's someone who's very closed and can't relate to to the people around them because they're jealous of everyone, because there's a lot of, they themselves have a lot of insecurities, and their way of overcoming their insecurity is to make you feel bad about yourself. So understanding that, sometimes you just gotta disassociate yourself from that family, because if you don't, they're going to use it to abuse you to continually make themselves feel better. So feel free to adjust the language or add any additional nuances that resonate with your understanding of your personal growth and self improvement. Personal growth is the process of self improvement, learning, and developing that enables us to reach our full potential and live a more fulfilling life. It involves expanding our knowledge, honing our skills, and cultivating positive habits that empower us to overcome challenges, achieve our goals, and thrive in various aspects of our lives. Now, I grew up in an era when society did not even recognize its disability community. So I experienced a lot of negativity around me. And as a young child, I had a lot of insecurities and I had a lack of self esteem. But because I was able to understand and look at things and say, why is this happening? Going into psychology and the mental health field, and then eventually learning the laws that govern the rights of people with disabilities is what has gotten me to where I am today, because I had to learn to love myself first before I could ever expect to influence someone else and how they could change. But it's also helped me to realize that we live in a society where they perpetuate the perfect individual. If you ever look at any of those ads on TV, it's always about how you have to conform and dress a certain way, or you have to think a certain way, or you have to do certain things a certain way. And each of us have are very, very different. Each of us have things that make us unique, and we need to embrace that part of who we are and understanding how we can become the best person that we want to be. So, at the core, personal growth is not just about acquiring external achievements or material success, it's about fostering inner growth and transformation that enriches our mental, emotional, and spiritual well being. Whether you look at it as through yoga, through meditation of some kind, or even going to your church. However, you get that feeling of oneness with spirituality, whether it's with God, it's something that is personal to you, because no one else can tell you how you should feel or how you should practice your religion. There are several reasons why personal growth is essential for overall well being. It enables us to adapt and thrive in an ever changing world. By continuously learning and evolving, we become more resilient and better equipped to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. Personal growth fosters self awareness and self discovery, allowing us to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves, our values, and our purpose in life. This self awareness not only helps us make more informed decisions, but also enhances our relationships and our ability to connect authentically with others. And very much that we live in a world today where we are constantly interacting with other people and how we relate to them, how we see things, and understanding exactly where you come from and your feelings. And we need to learn that some people can't express their feelings verbally, but they can write it down on paper. They can do it in a way that conveys the message, but more than anything, it helps you to literally be and have a sounding board. So let's look at it this way. Personal growth contributes to our sense of fulfillment and happiness. When we set and achieve meaningful goals, pursue our passions, and live in alignment with our values, we experience a profound sense of satisfaction and purpose that enhances our overall well being. It's all about how you see yourself in your lifetime, how you relate to someone, how you interact with them. Now, what I want to do is look at it this way. Personal growth is essential for ongoing personal development and lifelong learning. This is kind of the basis of everything that we've been talking about. And technology today has moved so far ahead that virtual reality, artificial intelligence, it can be a beneficial thing if you understand how to use it effectively and how to do things in a way that can literally take you to the next level in self-awareness, how you see yourself, how you interact with everyone. Now, by embracing growth as a continuous journey rather than a destination, we remain open to new possibilities, opportunities, and experiences that enrich our lives and contribute to our ongoing growth and fulfillment. Personal growth is not just a desirable pursuit, it's an essential aspect of leading a fulfilling and meaningful life. By investing in our own growth and development, we not only enhance our well being, but also create a ripple effect on positive change that extends to the world around us. So, self awareness is like the North Star guiding us on our journey of personal development. It's the ability to be introspectively understand our thoughts, emotions, values, strengths, and weaknesses, and the motivations. Without it, personal growth becomes a journey in the dark, lacking direction and clarity. So, what we want to do is look at how to adjust the language or add any additional insights that resonate with your perspective on personal growth and well being, because everything basically goes to how we interact with the people around us. Now, when we're self aware, we're better equipped to navigate life's challenges, make informed decisions, and build meaningful relationships. We have a deeper understanding of who we are, what drives us, and how we impact the world around us. And this is why it's so important to understand your personality, how where you're coming from, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and how to build on your strengths and find someone to that can complement you, whether it's in a relationship, for business, or personally, that the two of you can work together as a team for a common goal. So self-awareness acts as a mirror, reflecting back on us and our patterns of behavior, our triggers, and our areas for growth. It allows us to recognize when we're operating on autopilot. It empowers us to break free from limiting beliefs and unconscious habits that may be holding us back. Self-awareness fosters empathy and compassion, both towards ourselves and others. When we understand our own experiences and emotions, we're better able to relate to the experiences and emotions of those around us, leading to deeper connections and more meaningful interactions. Without self awareness, personal development becomes superficial, focused on external achievements rather than a solid foundation. It may look impressive on the surface, but it's valuable to collapse under pressure. It's vulnerable to collapse under pressure. Self awareness is the key that unlocks the door to personal growth and fulfillment. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to look toward inward, but the rewards are profound. Deeper sense of purpose, greater resilience, and a more authentic and fulfilling life. So, as we embark on our journey of personal development, let's remember to cultivate self awareness to our guiding light, illuminating the path towards becoming the best versions of ourselves. So feel free to adjust your language and add any additional insights that resonate with your perspective on the importance of self awareness in personal development. Offer strategies, self reflection, such as journaling, meditation, or seeking feedback from others, exploring the significance of goal setting and alignment with personal values. Goal setting is like charting a course for our personal journey. It provides direction, purpose, and motivation to strive for our aspirations. Setting goals isn't just about picking arbitrary talents, it's about aligning our aspirations with our deepest values and aspirations. When our goals are aligned with our personal values, they become more than just check boxes on a to do list. They become expressions of who we are and what truly matters to us. This alignment infuses our efforts with meaning and purpose, feeling our determination and resilience in the face of challenges. Setting clear, achievable goals, and this is where we talk about SMART goals, being specific, measurable, articulate, relevant, and time stamped rather than scattering our efforts aimlessly. By defining specific objectives and milestones, we create a roadmap that guides us towards success and keeps us accountable along the way. Additionally, when our goals are realistic and attainable, we set ourselves up for success rather than setting ourselves up for disappointment. While it's essential to dream big and aim high, it's equally important to break down our goals into manageable steps and celebrate our progress along the way. Now, remember this, if you have an end in sight, it can be very daunting, but when you break it down into smaller daily activities, And then as you watch yourself reach that final goal, you can feel your wins along the way. So setting your goals lined with your personal values also promotes authenticity and integrity in our actions. When our goals reflect who we are and what we stand for, we're more likely to pursue them with passion and commitment, even when faced with obstacles or temptation to stray from our path. Ultimately, the significance of setting clear and achievable goals aligned with personal values lies in its power to transform our aspirations into reality. It's not just about reaching the destination, it's about embracing the journey and living in alignment with our truest selves every step of the way. As we embark on our goal setting journey, let's remember to honor our values, dream boldly, and take deliberate action towards creating the lives we envision for ourselves. Feel free to adjust the language or add in additional insights that resonate with your perspective on the significance of setting goals aligned with personal values. Clearly define your goals with specificity. Well, being specific, let's put it that way, because that's my tongue is not working today. Instead of vague aspirations like get in shape, specify lose 10 pounds in 3 months or run a 5K race by the end of the year. Specify that what, why, and how of your goals. What do you want to achieve? Why is it important to you? How do you plan to accomplish it? Ensure your goals are measurable so that you can track your progress and know when you've achieved them. Use concrete metrics or milestones to measure progress. Track the number of pounds lost, the amount of money saved, or the frequency of certain behaviors. Set goals that are challenging but realistic. Consider your current abilities, resources, and time constraints, but larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks and prevent overwhelm and maintain motivation. Now, celebrate your achievements along the way to maintain motivation and momentum. Acknowledge small victories and use them as fuel to propel you towards larger goals. Be open to adjusting your goals and action plan if necessary, like unpredictable and circumstances may change. Focus on progress rather than perfection and don't be afraid to pivot or redefine your goals as needed. Feel Now, let's look at overcoming challenges and obstacles. First of all, you first want to look at fear of failure because recognize that failure is a natural part of learning process and opportunities for growth. Reframe failure as a feedback and a stepping stone towards success rather than reflection of your self-worth. Challenge negative self talk and limiting beliefs by questioning their validity and replacing them with positive affirmations. Remember, when we're talking about the laws of attraction, we are talking about how to reframe your thought processes. So always remember this. Now, let's look at the comparison of the imposter syndrome. Recognize that everyone's journey is unique, and comparing yourself to others is counterproductive. Focus on your own progress and growth, celebrating your achievements no matter how small. Practice gratitude for your strengths and accomplishments rather than dwelling on perceived shortcomings. Procrastination and perfectionism. Break tasks into smaller, more manageable steps to combat overwhelm and procrastination. Set realistic deadlines and hold yourself accountable for taking consistent action towards your goals. Embrace imperfection and recognize that progress is more important than perfection. By addressing these common obstacles to personal growth head on and providing strategies for overcoming them, individuals, or rather, let's look at it this way, when you overcome these common obstacles, you cultivate resilience, confidence, and perseverance on your journey towards becoming the best version of yourself. Now, you also want to develop resilience and to cultivate growth mindset by embracing challenges as opportunities for learning and growth. Practice self-care and stress management techniques such as a mindfulness, exercise, and adequate rest. Build resilience through adversity by reflecting on past experiences where you've overcome obstacles and emerged stronger. Want to cultivate self compassion. And this is a big one. Practice self compassion by treating yourself with kindness and understanding, especially in the face of setbacks or challenges. Recognize that everyone experiences difficulties and imperfections, and that self criticism only undermines your confidence and resilience. Now, let's look at your mindset shifts and positive habits because this becomes the thing that can truly help you get to the next level. Your mindset is like the lens through which you perceive the world. It shapes your thoughts, beliefs, and actions, ultimately influencing the outcome you experience in life. Whether you approach challenges with a growth mindset or a fixed mindset, you can all feel the difference in your ability to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. A growth mindset is characterized by a belief in the power of effort, learning, and resilience. Those with a growth mindset see challenges as an opportunity for growth and setbacks as a temporary obstacle and failure as a stepping stone towards success. Now, look at it this way that whenever you experience things, you are always going to have to understand that failure is a part of life. Reframe failure as a natural part of learning process and an opportunity for growth. Analyze setbacks objectively to identify lessons learned in areas for self-improvement. And always look for ways to maintain a positive outlook. Now, we've been talking about SMART goals. So this is what SMART means: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And these goals align with your values and your aspirations. You break larger goals into smaller, actionable steps to make progress more manageable and achievable. You want to develop consistent habits, embracing growth and innovations. Focus on personal growth and fulfillment. Lifelong learning enriches our lives by expanding our horizons, igniting our passions, and feeling our curiosity. Embrace growth opportunities. View every experience, whether positive or negative, as an opportunity for growth and learning. Here are some key takeaways. Optimizing you. The journey to becoming the best version of yourself is a lifelong process of growth, exploration, and self discovery. Mindset matters. Cultivate a growth mindset that embraces challenges, learns from setbacks, and believes in the power of effort and resilience. Set clear goals. Define specific, measurable goals aligned with your personal values and aspirations. Lifelong learning. Embrace curiosity, explore new interests, and remain open to change to continuously expand your knowledge, skills, and perspective. Stay resilient. Build resilience by practicing self care, maintaining a positive outlook, and bouncing back from setbacks with self determination and perseverance. Celebrate the progress along the way. Enjoy the journey. Now, you have the power. Ultimately, you have the power to shape your own destiny and create the life you envision. Embrace your potential, trust your abilities, and never stop striving to become the best version of yourself. And the last thing that I'm going to say about that is this: that often when a parent feels unfulfilled in their own life, they will try to live their lives through their children. And if the child wants to become more independent and live their own life, they are resistant to it because they were never allowed to live the life they wanted by their parents, and therefore they are putting their own needs before the needs of the child. And understanding where that comes from, helps you to understand exactly how you can be true to yourself and understanding exactly where you're coming from to be true to the person that you want to be. And remember this, that as a young child, they depend on the parent to guide them. But as they get older, it's important for them to learn to take control over their lives, because when that parent is no longer there to support them, they have to live their life to the best of their ability.